Hey, welcome to my channel. My earlier video, which I posted about accosting and irvine improv, unfortunately, the audio was out. Unfortunately, I don't know why. Probably the mic had issues. I don't know. But in any case, I'll just basically try to remember, not remember, but basically go over what I basically said. I went to the Irvine improv. I went to the improv at Irvine for accosting on Thursday night, basically. It was no Friday night. Sorry, first show on Friday night. Friday night, basically. And must say I was highly disappointed. Quite honestly, um, it it felt like this was more of a defense comedy tour more than anything else. That's what it felt like. This is a defense comedy tour because, quite honestly, for the what should have been just no more than 5 minutes or maybe even none was him basically defending his wife. And I'll say this: the remarks coming out from the internet about his wife, about being a gold digger, we know that's false. That is definitely false. Quite honestly, this is a woman that's been with him while he was a struggling comedian. Honestly, like you're a Desi woman, more so you're an Indian woman, and you're not marrying a dude that has no prospects, no job whatsoever. You're a comic, yeah, but you're not marrying a dude. You're not marrying a comic. You're marrying a doctor, engineer, lawyer of some nature. Basically, this is a case where like she fell in love with him and she married him for who he was, and she stuck with him through thick and thin. Basically, I mean, honestly, to the point where like it's to a point where like they must have been dead broke once in a while, or to like his wife was making the money and if she's like the sugar mama, yeah, one thing. But at the same time, it's like unless she recognized and knew full well that like, hey, this is a guy that's gonna be really famous. I'm gonna get some money off of him. Reality is like, though, that's I don't think she saw that. And so this is a case where you're probably just like, well, yeah, but she's spending all his money. It's like, honestly, doesn't matter because like let's think about this for a second. If you and your significant other, you guys win the lottery, you're telling me that you or your significant other is not spending that money. I mean, like if your significant other is, let's say, um, may came down with a windfall of money, basically. Let's say they suddenly won the lottery themselves, or they somehow make it big in the stock market, or with crypto, they become big in crypto. Or for that matter too, is they're on YouTube and they have a podcast that becomes so popular that they're getting some serious endorsements or not. You're telling me you're not spending that money as well too? You're gonna like, you know what? I'm not gonna spend. I'm gonna be like very conservative. That's BS. So from that perspective, we can't call her a gold digger. So let's be honest, she's not a gold digger. So let's take that out of the board. Basically, I don't. The fact of the matter is, I don't think Akash Singh needed to defend her, quite honestly, because it's between you and her more than anything else. I mean, you have fans and all that stuff, but at the same time, he was going on to the point of like, hey, look, like everyone's going on a set of clips that were compiled together to make it look like in a negative aspect. And then, like some news outlets or some media outlets basically were focusing on that. I don't know about that. Honestly, if she's saying this, and yeah, there are definitely clips that might have been out of context, but at the same time, and he was basically trying to say, hey, look, she was probably joking around about it. It's possible. I have not watched all of those podcasts that she was on, the full length of the podcast, to get the full context of each of those messages that she was saying, but chances are these other media outlets did see those podcasts in full context and probably realized like, hey, I mean, honestly, if she did say basically to the point, it's like, hey, she reminisces about college life. I don't know. Like, I mean, I granted everyone kind of reminisces a little, but at this point, you're married and all this stuff for like 10 years or whatever it may be. I don't know how long you've been married for. They've been married for, but you're not talking about college. I was like, I miss college life. I miss my college life. I mean, everyone misses like being in college. Everyone misses being a teenager at that point. But reality is like adulting is hard. Let's be honest. But at the same time, you're not telling other people like, yeah, I miss those days and whatnot. Whether if she was a whore or not, I don't want to call her a whore. Honestly, maybe whether she was promiscuous or not, I don't know. That's between her and him and Akash Singh. But reality is like seeing what I'm seeing right now. I don't know. I don't think she was, because if she was, all the guys that she supposedly have slept with, they're not coming out of the woodwork. It's like, yeah, I had, yeah, I banged her. I banged her, or whatever, in some form or another. You're not seeing that. At least I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing these guys coming out of there, out of the woodworks, to claim they're like quick 15 minutes of fame about this. Because let's be honest, celebrities with their significant others, they do something. People are coming out of the woodwork because they want that 15-minute fame. I have not seen anyone come out yet as a result of that. If there is, please let me know. But I have not seen it. Again, it's possible. There's a strong possibility that this is a woman that was trying to create a comedy act because she's probably thinking that Akash Singh is funny. It's like, I'm funnier than him. Maybe she was trying to be funnier than him. I don't know. Or to the other aspect is maybe she was literally pissed off at him for putting her into his act, and like how he keeps ripping into her in his act. She's like, you know what? I'm going to start doing this to him on podcasts. Let him see how it feels. It's possible that could be what it is. I'm not defending her. I'll be honest. I'm not defending her, nor am I condoning her. Because quite honestly, I don't care. I honestly don't care. This is between him and her. That's it. I don't really care. The one thing that I get pissed off on is this affected his show, I think. He was defending her. And the sad part is like, I was not either one, I was misled because of all these clips that I've seen so far, and these clips were well orchestrated to make him sound funny. But when you see him in reality, I'm like, some of it was funny, but it's not what I was expecting. He deviated away from his crowd work. I'll be honest. Like, if he does crowd work, I think that's where he thrives on. It sounds like that's where he thrives on, or looks like that's where he thrives on. I did not see him doing any crowd work at all, and that's what kind of pissed me off. I'm like, I understand he was working on some new jokes and whatnot, but at the same time, he's still working on that, trying to create the laughter. Because I came to laugh. I didn't come to hear your life story. I came to laugh, and I wasn't laughing as much. And you could see some of the audience members. Now, granted, we were coming in to a point like right after work type of things, and we're coming to like relax, and you could tell some people weren't too keen on the show and how it went about, basically. I mean, some of them were like pretty much just ready to, like, let's just go, forget this, we're ready to go. Quite honestly, there was two aspects I think I was very highly disappointed about, as well as a little bit sort of miffed about. Yes, that's a Gen Xer type of word, but it was one is no crowd work, and like the show didn't feel like it went long enough. It looks like he just did a 45-minute set. Now, it could possibly be the fact of the matter is it could have been the crowd himself. He felt the crowd. He's like, you know what? This is not going to work. I'm not even going to do crowd work, because his opening acts, they were trying to do crowd work as well too, and it wasn't working. It wasn't really working as well. And it was to a point where, like, I think he felt as like, all right, you know what? This is a crowd where I don't think I should just riff on him. I might as well wait for the later crowd at that point, because there was the next show after that. The thing that got me miffed was the fact is, it's like he was trying to defend his wife not being whore, which is great, but he himself whored himself out. Let's be honest, he whored himself out. His exact words at the end of the show, the first show, was, "Look, guys, normally I would at the end of the show take pictures with you guys at the end of the show, but because there's the next show, I won't be able to. But however, if you buy my merch, i.e. my hats, 2 different type of hats for $30, I'll take a picture with you and I'll even sign it." You hoard yourself out. Dude, if you're going to say that, then just say, like, buy my merch. Don't go on and say, hey, I won't be able to take pictures with you, but, if you buy my merch, I'll take a picture with you. Dude, just say it's like, hey, look, I got some hats. Buy it. Don't buy it. Greatly appreciate it at that point. But don't say it's like, yeah, I would have gladly taken pictures with you in the past. I mean, dude, no. You just hoard yourself out for money at that point. And I got pissed off at that. I was like, dude, you did not have to say that. And I was like, I'm not paying $30 for a picture with you, basically. I mean, honestly, it's like, if you don't want to take a picture, don't take a picture. Just say it. Don't say it's like, hey, I'll take a picture with you if you buy my merch. I mean, that was BS, man. I mean, like, I was angry about that, honestly. No, not angry. I was miffed. I wasn't, like, lost it, basically. But I was miffed to the point I was like, I spent $30, basically $70 for me and my wife. And, like, we weren't as happy, quite honestly. Like, we weren't. Basically, put it this way, we were not satisfied at the end of the show. After we left the Irvine Improv, we were not satisfied. This is one of those rare times where we were not satisfied, basically. Like, we've gone to quite a number of shows. We went to a Namesh Patel show. We know what to anticipate. I and her, we were satisfied per se, but we weren't disappointed at the same time. We were like in between that area, like disappointment and not satisfied. At least we were in that middle area. Whereas With Akash, disappointment, not satisfied, both all together at this point. And Mift was like entering that mix at that point. So that's where I was like, dude. Because like with Nimesh Patel, he says like, yeah, no, hey guys, I'll be out there to take a picture with you guys, or like, hey guys, I won't take a picture without you. He didn't even like try to, you know, panhandle his merch out there to us, but he was basically like, hey guys, great talking to you guys, blah, boom, that's it. You know what? He didn't even have to say anything about taking a picture, because like all these comedians, like I'll say this, Michael Blaustein, we were highly satisfied with his show, but at the same time, we were genuinely surprised he was taking pictures. We were genuinely surprised he was taking pictures outside. And we were like, whoa, he didn't even say that at the end of the show. This is where Akash Singh said it. I normally would take pictures with you, but I won't be able to. But if you buy my merch, I'll take pictures with you. That's what got me angry. I think a few people may have been angry about that as well, too, honestly. But in any case, that was my problem with that. With him and with what's going with his wife, honestly, I don't care. I honestly don't care. It doesn't affect my life, so I don't really care. Two things. I think he should have just basically used that as more fuel to create a new skit off of it. He could have done that, or a new set of jokes off of it, which he tried. It seems like he tried, but it didn't work. It didn't like fall like that he had anticipated. Or two, he didn't need to go into defense at that point. He didn't need to defend her at all, because like I think we all understood and knew. We all knew and understood. It was like, you don't have to say much. Just get us. We want to come to laugh. That's it. He could have just done that. And number three, worst case. I mean, honestly, if the internet's coming at you, this is the internet. It's gonna happen anyways. You got to develop a thick skin. She needs to develop a thick skin. I hate to say it, but like if she doesn't have a thick skin, sorry, I hate to say it, but that's kind of sucky. You need to develop a thick skin. And number four, I'll be honest. Number four, you could leverage this as a way to gain, extract your 50 minutes, like her 15 minutes of fame to even more at this point. You could go in as a comedy, as a duo for some kind of podcast. You could definitely do that. And you could expand upon it and make it much more, you could expand upon it much more. This might be good for you. No publicity is bad publicity. Put it that way. The fact of the matter is, like, by this, let's be honest. Because of this, maybe the word's escaping me right now, but like his celebrityism is coming into play at this point. Like he's becoming a little bit more elevated. So I don't know. This is just my opinion. Like I said, I mean, the next show might have been much better. I don't know, or the next day, yesterday, as in other days and other places, it might have been much better. If it was okay, then it might have been that one night off show. But if this is a case where like he's been like this with other shows as well too, please let me know, because like I would love to know, and like let me know your thoughts. I mean, like based on looking at the clips I'm seeing on YouTube and TikTok and such, he seemed like a funny dude, and I was like genuinely laughing. Like some of the stuff he was saying, I thought it was funny. I'll be honest. I had a cousin out in Oklahoma. I talked to him about, because like he was on there, on his YouTube page basically. And I asked him, like, how was the show? He's like, oh, dude, he was great. Because he was great over there, we're going with the fact, like, all right, if he's great there, he's got to be great here. But he wasn't. And I was massively disappointed. And this is why I'm like, I'm not sure if this was just because of what's going on with his wife and everything that's going on right now. Or two, this is a case where, like, maybe it was just the audience itself. Or three, he was just having an off night. I don't know. If this is the case, I apologize, but reality is like I was not satisfied with the show that I went to. I'll be honest. Nor was my wife. My wife was probably, we both were like basically looking to laugh, and we didn't. So with that, I'll leave it at that. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. With that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.